21st, 2013, an online lurker decided to hack into an influencer's security system. What you're about to witness is the video message transmitted to one of the surveillance cameras. Although she was never seen after that date on another surveillance video, it has been said her happy lurking days are far from over. Hold on to your precious cameras. You could be next.
Hello, this is Jennifer. Yay! I just thought I'd do a small, tiny little video to answer your question. I actually don't know if you were asking me the question or if you, what I was saying is, I don't know if you were asking me the question, if it was one of those questions that you send to loads of people and see who replies. But anyway, I'm just gonna answer it to you. Do I celebrate Halloween? Yes, I suppose that's the straight answer. I do. I know my religion is sort of like, I was born as a Christian, but I don't go to church or anything like that. So when I became a teenager, I began to study all these different theories and types of religions, I suppose, and I've become quite spiritual. So to me, Halloween, even though I love the whole dressing up and you know, carving the pumpkin, which I actually did. My very first pumpkin was around a year ago, maybe a year and a half. I think it was October 2011. I have to check. I think I have a few pictures of it. I'm quite proud of my first pumpkin, by the way. It was quite a nice moment. I was graduating with my master's, and my mom was here, and you know, we decided to celebrate Halloween the Irish way, or the English way, you know. So that's my iPad, which you probably know because you have one as well. What else I was gonna say? Oh yeah, but I also, besides doing that, I'm obviously creating some special foods, maybe, because I love foods, you know, I love preparing food, and like, my life has become a bit of a transformation, in a sense that I kind of like, I always say I cook food, but obviously with a raw side of things, it's not very correct to say I'm cooking food, but you know, I like preparing dishes, nice dishes, you know. So I do that as well, because to me, Halloween, it's sort of like the beginning of the year, sort of time to let go of the old and in with the new. So yeah, I'm actually one of the lucky ones that celebrates 2 New Years. I celebrate the New Year for the pagans, or the weekends, or whatever you want to call them, and which I believe it lies in the tradition of, you know, the harvest. I'm sure like you can Google it. It's something to do with, you know, years, many years ago. They used to prepare the land for the harvest and all that, so it was around that time. And yeah, and I think it's a nice story, and I think it's a nice tradition to celebrate. And yes, so I do celebrate that one. That's my spiritual New Year's. And then in December, I celebrate the traditional New Year's Eve. So yay, party time! I'm I'm actually on the verge of adopting the Chinese New Year's in February as well, because I thought like, yay, you know, if I celebrate one and I celebrate the second one, what the heck? Let's go the whole boat and celebrate, New Year's, the Chinese New Year as well, because they actually do it here. in Dublin. You can see all the dragons coming out because there's a huge culture in Chinese culture in Dublin, with all the restaurants and all that. So they celebrate their New Year big time over here as well with like little people. Little people. I shouldn't be saying that. I'm calling the Chinese tiny people. Well, they're like, they get inside this huge dragon and they start, it's very colorful, and they start doing all these strange things in the center, in the city center. So it's quite good. So that's me, Halloween. Although this year's Halloween, it really sucked because I was meant to be in London today. I had a few things planned, and last August I actually bought a ticket to see the Phantom of the Opera, and it was such a good seat. I 15G, and I actually selected G for greatness. Um, so yeah, I was so looking forward to it because I thought, right, I arrived into London at 8:30 in the morning. Then I just check into the hotel. I go to the Majesty Theatre, and I'll enjoy the Phantom of the Opera, and with a bit of luck, I might take a picture of the Phantom and me, and put it in Facebook, as in like, at long last, I got here and I met the Phantom. Um, but my current company, which I told you about, the whole contract, they wanted me to work until today, and if I didn't work until today, I would have to pay back the money, and yada yada yada, contracts. So I ended up giving my ticket to a friend who is actually in London. So she went today there, and she was sending me messages through Facebook, which I couldn't reply to because obviously I was having my exit interview and all this lot of things like at work going on, and that's why I couldn't reply to yours either. But I suppose it's a good thing, because if I would have replied to you, it would have been by text, not by video, so you wouldn't have been able to see my face. Yay! This is my face and this is my hair. So this is me. And what else? Oh yeah, and then what I was telling you is that I actually did she was actually texting me through Facebook, obviously, and saying, which I saw that this evening. She was saying like, "Oh, thank you very much. The seats are great," and I thought to myself, "Oh, please don't tell me that, because I wish I were there, and then I'm gonna regret giving you the ticket," which it would be a bad thing, to feel like that, because if I wouldn't have given her the tickets, like, they were gonna get lost anyway. It would have been money lost, because I don't resell my tickets. I don't think it's right. If you can make it, you can make it tough. Just like, just give it away, like someone that you think they will enjoy, and you think they don't have the money, and she doesn't. She just moved to London, and that ticket was a very expensive ticket. So I know she actually appreciated. So it was a good thing. And then, to make matter worse, my company, after having helped them with their business, sort of like, I left because I didn't like what I saw. So I wrote a report telling them the reasons why I left and how to fix it. And it was a very long report. I mean, like, when I write, and I'm very like thorough and very straight to the point, and I don't like, the way sometimes I write to you and I tell you everything. Like, it's like, oh my god, I go on a tangent, and I know that, and it's okay because I enjoy it. That's why I allow myself to do that, even if I bore you to bits, or if I bore anybody to bits. It's just, I enjoy doing that. So most people enjoy listening to me rambling on for ages and going on a tangent and then back and forth. But when I'm actually writing a report, I'm very like centered and really kind of like, right, this is the way it is. This is what's wrong. These are the options, and this is your best option. Okay, so that's what I did, and you know, I thought they were gonna be really nice, and they were to one point, until I took my bag and I was gonna walk out, and I actually said to them, listen, I give you my badge here, and I just take the, you know, the lift, and you know, the security guy can just let me out. No, the guy insisted on walking me outside, and I thought to myself, all right, maybe he's just being nice, you know, kind of courteous. So I went downstairs and I gave him the badge, and then he was asking about the key, the locker key, and I said, well, the locker is empty, so I left the key there inside the locker, just the same way I found it when I got to the desk. And he was kind of like looking at me funny, and I said, and the second key is with these people here, like the reception, because that wasn't my locker originally. And then he was like, oh yeah, okay, thank you, blah blah blah, good luck, blah blah blah, you know, the usual B that everybody says when you're leaving a company. And as I was going to walk out, he stops me and says, oh, excuse me, this is the manager, it's not like security guard or anything, it's just like the guy, excuse me. And I was like, yeah, can I actually see your bag? And I kind of looked at him, my jaw dropped, seriously, because if there's something I'm not, it's a thief. So that totally deflated me. I was like, what? So I said, no, go ahead, like. So I opened the bag and I was like, you're not gonna, it's a very untidy bag, and the only thing you're gonna see there is my pads, you know, like my pads, like my tampons and all that. The idiot was actually looking inside my bag and took the tampons out. And I thought, and looked at it, I was like, are you stupid? Like, yeah, look, I wrote like an account and like bank details and everything inside the tampon. And I swear to you, I was this close to say, like, if you open that tampon just to check if that what I just said is true, I swear to you, you're gonna have to give me €2, because those things are very expensive. Oh, seriously, I felt, you know what I felt? Because I've been 13 years like working and studying, because you know, before like my degree I actually went full time, and I didn't work at all, I was just studying. But then with my master's I decided to do it part-time and work at the same time, because obviously it was the right thing to do. I wouldn't have been able to afford it if I do it otherwise. But that company felt like the very first company I went to work for. It really felt as if I had stepped back in time. So it's just, yeah, the fact that, you know, when you're nice to people and then suddenly they treat you like if you were dirt or something, like if you're going to steal something from them when you actually have helped them, that's just so bad. I don't know, I'll never understand that. But yeah, that sort of ruined my Halloween. And I shouldn't say ruin, because I'm trying not to allow the whole thing, you know, ruin the next 45 minutes. That's what's left of Halloween. Oh, but you know, c'est la vie. So yeah, that was my day. So I saw an X-ray of your cat. Is she all right? Because you know, I never asked again. That's actually fizzy water, and I know you probably have a video on how fizzy water is bad for you. I haven't ever read anything bad about fizzy water. There's probably something bad about it, besides the fact that, you know, your body gets full of gas and, you know, you get all bloated. But come on, it's like when my mom sees me drinking fizzy water, she's like, "That's not good for you. You know, you're gonna have all gases in your stomach." And I'm like, "Look, I gave up Coke, and I mean, I'm not talking like Coke, the sniffing Coke. No, I mean like Diet Coke. I don't drink. I don't take drugs. I don't drink alcohol. The only thing I have is water, and I like the bubbles. I need the bubbles. you know, just let me get used to the whole thing, and then I might give up the bubbles. So, ah, yes, my friend. Is my friend. Hello, my friend. So, yeah, if you have a video about gas, fizzy water, and how bad it is for you, by all means, give me the link. Because I haven't really watched any of your 400. Well, yeah, I have watched some of the videos, but I haven't even watched like 100 of your videos because it's something. Following you on YouTube has been a bit new to me. I know you contacted me 9 months ago, a whole pregnancy, and and you said the only thing you said was a one-liner. Is that your voice in your video? And then I replied to you, and you totally ignored me, and I thought to myself, oh, how rude. Oh, how dare you. And I unsubscribed. Sorry, I did. Isn't that terrible? But I thought you were rude. And then I kept thinking about you for some weird reason. How is that possible? You know, that you actually watch a few videos of somebody and then you unsubscribe for some strange reason. It keeps popping into your head from time to time. I'm not talking every single day. That would be weird, freaky stalker mode. No, 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 no. I'm talking like you go on for a month and then suddenly you start thinking about them again because you're kind of thinking, how are they getting on? Like, I wonder if he's all right. And that to me it's weird because I don't know you at all, and yeah, that's odd. So I ended up subscribing again and catching up with the whole 9 months that I missed. Yeah, yeah. And then obviously I bought those ebooks from you. And the reason why I bought your ebooks, um, it wasn't for like buying something from you. No, no, no. I tend to research a lot about, you know, the whole food as well, and the whole fitness industry and food industry and all that. So when I got your books, to me it was a way of saving time. So it was like I was listening to them and I was like, yep, yep. It was like ticking a box. It's like, yep, I know this. Yes, I know this. Oh, lactic acid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew about that one. No, I didn't know about that. That's actually quite interesting. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's the reason why. It's a kind of like it was a way of saving time. Just wait a second, because I'm so thirsty. Oh God, it's so good. I swear to you, if you come up with here, this is the link of why you should not drink fizzy water, I'll be like, or if you make a new video like saying why you are not supposed to drink fizzy water, I'll be like, oh no, I have to give up. I have to give you up, my friend. Slowly, but just slowly but surely. But at some point, anyway, that's food for thought, you know, just investigate if you haven't on the fizzy waters and the dangers of drinking fizzy water. Um, what was I saying? You know, I go from one thing to another. Wasn't I telling you about something about my mom? Ah, you know, it'll come. I'll probably just turn off the camera and it'll come to me. It'll come to me. But the cat. Yes, we were talking about your cat. See, I go from the cat to the fizzy water and back to the cat again. Yes, the other day we were talking about your cat and how you got bad news, and then how the vet was going to give you the options, and I never continue with that conversation. You know why I never continue with that conversation? Because sometimes I think people might not want to talk about it, and I believe that if they want to talk about it, they will talk about it. You know, if you wanted to talk about the issue with your cat or any other issue, you will bring it up, because you need to talk about something like that. But that's why I don't like. Sometimes I ask, but then I feel that if I keep asking, it might come across as probing or nosy, which I'm not. So that's why I sort of like, after a few times of asking, I just prefer just, just leave it up to you, really. So I'm kind of tired, so I'm gonna go to the toilet and remove my makeup and get ready to go to bed. So I hope this video surprises you a little bit. No, it probably didn't surprise you. It probably is like, ah, yeah, it's another video from another girl. What's new in your life? So I've taken my makeup off and I'm ready to go to bed. And it's really, really, really cold. My greedy landlord haven't put the heating on. So guess what? I'm all wrapped up like a little samosa. And I'm gonna wear my hat because it's cold. And you know what I've noticed? Every time I don't wear my hat, I get colder. So yeah, I'll be wearing my hat. I'm actually gonna put it on now, so you can see it. So it's kind of, it reminds me of that movie, Fargo. Yeah, remember the woman, the really heavy pregnant woman. Um, well, there you go. It's snowing in my house. Oh yeah, I can't believe that. Did you see that? Oh my god, what is it? There you go. You're gonna think I'm an addict when it comes to drinking a sparkling water. I have a full bottle there and another bottle somewhere else. It's like, I don't know. I actually go through stages. Sometimes I go for months without drinking fizzy water, and then suddenly, out of blue, I just need to drink cold fizzy water, which is really weird. Yeah. So this is me going to bed. I'm just gonna take the hat off because. Okay. So I'll talk to you soon. Cheerio.